All right. Happy Monday. Happy Monday rolling out. This is your host, Crystal Jordan. And yes, guys, I'm still having vocal issues, which is why I'm in the house. I'm in my PJs tonight. But I'm excited. We have back-to-back reality checks tonight. So even though my voice is under the weather, I'm here. I'm ready for tonight's discussion. And we are getting ready to start with Ready to Love. You guys know when it's fall, we get into actually fall and spring. We have a lot of fun with the cast from Ready to Love. And tonight we have the very first lady, the very first sexy single female that was eliminated from Ready to Love. So this is the lady that the guys decided initially was not ready to love. So I'm going to bring her on with no further ado. You guys, please help me welcome to Reality Check, Miss Libba.
Hey.
Hey. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
I am good. Even though my voice does not sound good, I'm doing great. You look amazing. You look like you just came back from a date. So
I need to go on one. Thank you.
Well, welcome to Reality Check, Libba. This is your first time. You were the first, like I said, the first female no longer on the show. But as we know, they actually eliminate 2 people.
Yes.
So later on tonight, you guys have to stay tuned. We're going to have Lamont on, who was the first guy. So Libba is not by herself. We got a guy.
Partner in elimination.
Partner in elimination. That's what's up. Well, before we get started, because I know people have been DMing me, they're excited. You and I have been talking back and forth in DM about tonight's conversation. I wanted to make sure that we kind of celebrate it. We know it's fall, and actually we're heading into November. So there's a product that I wanted to celebrate tonight. It is a candle company called Ray & Co. They are a group of females here in Atlanta, Georgia. We know we support Black-owned businesses here on Rolling Out and from Crystal with Love. And they're just a friend to the show. And so I wanted to make sure that we give a shout out to Ray & Co. I'm going to put the website down in the comments. But these make great gifts. We know that we're all into self-care now. And candles are a great way to kind of express your self-care. This is my favorite candle. It's the Awaken. And I like vanilla. It's kind of like vanilla and cedar. So that's my absolute favorite candle right there. This is my favorite gift set. So for Christmas, a lot of times I don't know. I have a lot of friends that have a lot of stuff. You don't know what to get your friends for Christmas. Ray & Co. have great candle sets. So like I said, I'll put the website down in the comments. You guys can definitely go and check them out. So shouts out to them. It is, Taby says, is it a 3-wick candle? They have several candles. There's some small, but there's the mini ones that I like because I like to set them around the tub when I take a bath. But then they also have the bigger ones. So I'm sure they do have a 3-wick candle. But you guys can follow them on Instagram. Tell them that Crystal with Rolling Out sent you, and they may do something nice for you. So with no further ado, Libba, before we get started, I want to introduce the rest of the audience. We have people that are already watching. For anyone that did not see the casting special, we're going to introduce you to who we met for the Ready to Love casting special when the rest of us met Miss Libba.
Hey y'all, my name is Libba, aka Libba Lib. For the majority of my adult life, I was married. And I found myself unhappy. We were living in separate quarters, so he was sleeping in one bedroom, I was sleeping in another. And I knew at that moment that was somewhere where I did not want to be. In terms of what I'm looking for, I really want my twin flame. I think it's important for me to find a man who loves God, a man of integrity. Also, it'd be nice if he's good looking and taller than I am. No offense to my shorter brothers out there, but short men have a tendency of being a lot of work. I'm in my 40s, so my knees and, other joints aren't like they used to be. I love being in the kitchen and my man comes up behind me and kisses me on my neck and slaps me on my ass. I love that. I think DC dating, it's a lot of fun. It's competitive as hell. And here I am competing with these beautiful women with these big old booties. I ain't got no big old booty. I'm full of personality, but I don't have no big old booty. Please help me find my love. I know he's out there waiting for me, and I'm damn ready for his ass.
Yes. Let's go, Libba.
A mess, girl, a mess.
No, that's not a mess at all. You look like you had a lot of fun with that.
I did. I really, really did.
What was that day shooting? What was shooting like that day? Because we see you look like you were just excited, happy to be there. Lots of cute little wardrobe changes we saw, and pictures. So what was that day like shooting?
So there are a few days of shooting. So you have like where you're shooting like the backdrops, where you saw all the different wardrobe changes, and they do interviews. And then you also have like the mixer, which is a whole different, ball game. But I really enjoyed it. I mean, I have the gift of gab, so I enjoy talking. I enjoy, connecting with people. So I really did. My experience was lovely. I can't even lie to you, Crystal. It was absolutely lovely. Yeah.
Nice. Well, we're talking about that intro. The first thing when I was watching that, the first thing I thought was that I could relate to you. Libba has some supporters in the comments that you are fine, you look gorgeous.
Thank you.
That's a good thing. But I could relate to you because you were like, for most of your adult life, you were married, and I got married really young, and in my 30s got divorced and had to start dating, and I was like totally ill prepared for that. So can you talk to us a little bit about where you were when you decided to sign up for Ready to Love?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I was married at a very young age. I was married at 19. I stayed with my ex-husband until about year number 13 or 14, and we were separated, and then we were divorced at year number 20. So it was a long time. That separation period is a long time for you to grow and to heal and to get things financially stable. And so it took me a while to really figure out who I was as a woman. When you get married at 19, even though I've always been an old soul, honey, I always thought I knew everything. But I really, during that marriage, I realized that was not where I was supposed to be. And it was really, really hard for me to get out of it. And so there was a lot of courage that was built within myself to even make that decision to leave. And so once that happened, and once I got divorced, and once I was separated for a while, I did start dating. And that was a lot of fun. Being in a long-term relationship, you don't know what to do, right? So I had my ups and downs. I had a lot of fun. I may have broken a couple of hearts unintentionally. I ain't mean to hurt them. I didn't. But I had a great time. And then I did end up in a relationship that lasted about 5 years or so. Okay. And for that particular relationship, again, it really did teach me how significant it was for me to make myself a priority. Oh. And so with that, for me being able to say I wanted to be on Ready to Love, I did all of the work. And I knew that not only did I make a great spouse, I'm a great woman, I'm a dope ass friend, and I knew that it was time and that I was worthy of love. And therefore I made the decision, let me try this crazy thing called Ready to Love, because I love the show, always loved it, always thought that if they came to DC and I was single, I was going to go for it. So.
Okay. So how long between your 5-year relationship and the show and signing up for the show?
Not long, probably a good 7 months, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm the type of person, once I'm done and I don't want that man, I ain't going back. There's no looking back. And again, I did all of the work. So yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
So you mentioned getting married at 19 is very, very early. I got married at 20, so I'm saying it's early, but I feel you.
Yeah.
You don't really know who you are as a woman at that age. You're still becoming, you're kind of transitioning from being a girl into being a woman. So was your husband at that time, was he the same age as you?
Or was he older, a couple of years older than I was? Yes.
Okay. Now you mentioned in your interview that at some point in time, you guys were like not sleeping in the same room. You were like totally not, it didn't seem like you guys were connecting. Can you give us like a summary? You don't have to give us.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put all my business out there, but what I will say, what I will say is that at some point in our marriage, we were sleeping in separate quarters, where it would be extensive times in which we would just be sleeping elsewhere, and that took a big toll on me, especially as a young woman. You're wondering what's wrong with me. Why doesn't he want to come in here? And then after a while, you become desensitized to the situation. For me, I am a very positive, happy-go-lucky person by nature, and I'm also a worrier. And I think that for me, it came to a point where my son, he was about I want to say about 9 years old or so. He was asking the question, well, Mom, why do you and Daddy sleep in separate bedrooms? And that's the moment where I knew, I was like, yeah, I can't raise my son in this type of household where he's seeing that, his mom is sleeping in one bedroom. This is not Lucy, and this is not Desi Arnaz, okay? It's not Ricky and Lucy. So I just knew that I have to set a better example of what love should look like opposed to what it does not look like.
Yeah. Well, kudos to you on that, because a lot of times people think as long as you're married, things are good, right? So it's like, oh, well, you have this 20-year relationship, but everything that glitters is not gold. So sometimes people outside of the house have no idea of what's going on inside of the house. Yeah. And yeah, I can definitely congratulate you on not wanting to settle for anything less than happiness.
Yeah, and to add to that, not every good man makes a good spouse. Not every good man makes a good partner, or, same with women. Not every good woman makes a good wife, so it takes you to be self-aware to realize, like, I deserve better. This is not something that I need to settle into. Even after working on it and realizing, like, womp womp, this is not working. You have to be courageous enough to say, I deserve better and I'm going to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even to add to that, like, not every man makes a good spouse for that particular woman.
Exactly.
And you know what I mean? Because sometimes you can meet someone that may have been through some, divorce, and maybe they weren't good for that person, but they could be a good fit for you. You just have to be open to finding your happy. So absolutely. Speaking of Libba's happy, what is Libba's happy? What is Libba looking for? What type of man is Libba attracted to, as we get ready to kind of look through these guys from that Ready to Love presented? What are the key things that Libba is attracted to? So we'll kind of know maybe who fit that bill.
Okay. So I love a man's man. Like, I love a man. I hate to say that I'm an alpha female, but I am. It's not that I'm trying to be an alpha female. It's just that I have certain characteristics that will deem me as an alpha female. And so I need a man who is sure of himself, who is secure, who is a man of integrity, who loves God, who is family oriented, who is trustworthy. I mean, my things are like simple, kind, great sense of humor, who will accept me for who I am, someone who is responsible. Like, those are all basic types of things, right. In terms of looks, I did mention that we'll talk about short men a little bit later, but
yes.
I'm a tall glass of woman girl. I mean, I'm tall, honey. I'm like 5'10". And so in my heels, I'm like a 6, and I wear my heels all the time. So I'm like 6'2", 6'3". So I'm gonna need a confident brother that can, when we walk into the room together, he has this confidence and we just are positive together. Like, who are they? Not necessarily because we're both good looking, but like the energy that we give, and I love an intellectual brother, and who is proud to be Black. Like, you love Black women, you love your Black brothers and sisters, and you understand the plight of our people. So yes. Yeah.
So Wadi says, I love how she mentioned looks last in her list, because a lot of times when I ask that question, people start out with the physical. So let me ask you this. If you found all those other characteristics, right, and the guy was like 5'8", but he was confident and he had no problem standing next to you at 6'2" in your heels, would you be okay? Are you attracted to that? You just need him to be confident, or is it something that you don't prefer?
So I've dated guys who are shorter than I am. So that's not necessarily the issue. The issue comes when there's a Napoleon complex. When listen, some shorter men, and I'm not dissing all brothers who are short, but some shorter men do have that complex where they feel like they have to overcompensate for certain things. They've been teased growing up because they're little, like.
Especially a woman that's 5'10". No, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
See, I'm 5'2.5". So with me, they look and they're like, you should go out with someone that's like me. And I'm like, I like tall guys too. But I would assume that they would feel more intimidated. I'm just assuming with a 5'10" woman, because they're probably knowing that, she's really probably going to prefer someone taller than myself.
Well, and I don't want to feel like I got to protect his ass. You know what I mean? No, for real. Like, I don't want to feel like we in the alley or we walking down somewhere and I'm like, come on, baby, you come. No. I don't want to feel like I got to protect you. But some of the short men that I have encountered do have some insecurities. All men have insecurities, but I think that I have a lot of presence, honey. When I step up in the room, 6'3" and glittering and glycerin, like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I appreciate a confident man, and someone who appreciates all that I have to offer. So if he's 5'8", I'm not going to say no, not at all. But I think that I've had my fair share of shorter men who are, a little insecure about that. So
yeah, I think you're right. I think everybody has insecurities, men, women, whoever.
Yes.
I do think that women have this desire to feel protected. We all do. I remember talking with one of the young ladies from Ready to Love the first season, and I think it was Shayla, and she was like, well, you're only 5'2". You should go out with a 5'4" guy. And I was like, no, ma'am. I want a 6'2" one guy too. And she's like, leave the 6'2" for us. I'm like, we all have the desire. I think it's a feminine desire to feel protected, but I do think that it's really about the inside, because there are some 6'2" punks, and then there are some 5'5", very confident, amazing men. It just depends on.
And again, I've dated shorter men. So it's not even, so that's the beauty of editing. They can put it together and make it sound like to all the short men. No, that's not true. But what I'm saying is that my preference is a taller guy, but I'm cool with shorter men. Like, and the thing is that me being so tall, short men love me.
I'm sure. Yeah.
They do. And, and I have fun with them. So
short men like tall women, and short women gravitate towards tall men. I think it's
right. I guess it's supposed to balance it some way, somehow, right? Yeah.
So when you went through the process, you realized you were going to be a part of the show. You get there, because we don't know how tall the guys are, right? So you can give us a behind the scenes look at how these guys look in person, because I know last season in Houston, some of the guys look a certain way on camera. You can look a certain way on camera, and then, in person, they're definitely not like that. You didn't read 5'10" on camera. You read very beautiful, definitely got a nice body, but it didn't come off that you were 5'10". So who were you initially attracted to physically when you got to the mixer and saw all the guys there?
Okay, so physically attractive, or I felt off the bat was like, oh, okay, who is that?
Yeah.
I would say Walter for sure, because he's tall. I keep saying tall, but tall, debonair, nice. I was going to say clean shaven, but very well kept. You smell good, look good. I would say, I would say Corey actually presents well in person. So he's a taller man, but his physique is crazy. Like, he's pretty tall. I think he's like 6'3" or so. And he has this presence about him. So where you can't forget who he is, right? Dante is also very well. They're all very well built. Like, they're nice built men, like nothing where I'm like, I didn't feel like they at all. So I would say they're all attractive. Carrington again, attractive, suave brother, nice style. Frank is shorter. However, he has a presence about him. He's pretty confident, square, posture, just very confident, nice stance to him. So I think they're all attractive in their own right. And I don't say that like they're ugly. I just think that they,
Yeah, but it's just like who was like, because it could be a room full of good looking people, but you can see your type immediately. We did notice that it's like a lot of them had bald heads and beards. Was that the vibe in DC? Is it like most of the guys there? Because
you have to remember some of their ages too, right? So a lot of brothers, 45, 46, or early 40s, late 30s. Yeah, honey, they got the cul-de-sac going on, George Jefferson. So you have to remember that age. And not all men look good without facial hair. Some of them look like glowworms. They need that facial hair. So it's true, but I think that I like facial hair. I like it. I can go with it or without it. Some men look better with it. It's just like some women need makeup, some men need facial hair. So, but the vibe in DC is different. You got brothers with locks, you have brothers with fades. It all varies, especially depending on if you're from Maryland, if you're from DC, if you're from Northern Virginia. So it varies.
Yeah, where are you from exactly?
So I'm from the area. I'm a home girl, so I'm not from DC, but I was born in DC. I grew up in Prince George's County, in particular Fort Washington. Hey, Fort Wash, as well as Southern Maryland, which is Waldorf, when I went to high school down there. But yeah, I'm a home girl, and my family, just about every weekend I would go to DC. All of my family is in DC, in particular Northeast, and some Northwest. So yeah, home girl.
That's what's up. Now, if you guys are just joining, we are talking with the very beautiful Libba from this season, the DC season of Ready to Love. Libba was the very first woman to go home. After this conversation at 9:00 Eastern, we're going to be talking with the first guy to go home. So make sure that you stay tuned or tune in for this and then come back with a snack and join us for that conversation. But Libba is talking to us. So you saw quite a few attractive guys at the mixer. It sounds like there were quite a few that you could have been attracted to. Tell us what from your perspective, how did things go as far as talking, as far as interacting? Because we didn't see a whole lot of that this time.
Not from me, honey. You didn't. Okay, so can I break it down, Crystal?
Break it down. Come on with it, Libba.
I'm gonna break it down, girl, for a couple of reasons. One, I knew probably within an hour of being there that my man was not there.
Oh, wow.
And so with the mixer, we got there at like 11 o'clock. I got to the mansion. So we were waiting at 11 o'clock. I got to the mansion about 2 p.m. Okay. And then we left at 1 a.m. Or after 1 a.m., just to put it in perspective for you.
A long mixer.
Girl, long, right? It's the remix.
Yeah.
But anyway, so within an hour, I kind of realized that my person was not there. I am, at the time I was 44, going on 45.
Okay.
I have a son who is in college. Okay. Yes. The majority of the men there are in their 30s.
Okay.
Or early 40s. They've either never been married, don't have kids, or a combination thereof.
Okay.
So the only men that was probably suitable, I felt like, for me at the time was Walter, who's 46, Tyrone, who is a father. He has like a 12-year-old daughter, I think. And then I felt like that was it. So my chances were very, very low. Okay. So I knew within probably, like I said, within an hour, like, yo, he ain't got no kid. They've never been married. They're young. They're babies. These are some cute little babies. For me, it's like this was called Ready to Love, not ready to play. Like if I wanted to play, if I wanted to just date, do a little light something, that would have been appropriate. But my intention was to go on the show to find my man. And I knew it. So the other part of it was that I am in my mid-40s. I've had a hysterectomy.
Okay, so you're not having babies.
Not only because I'm in my mid-40s, but I don't have the ability to have babies. Okay. And on top of that, I'm at that age since my son is out of the house. Girl,
No, ma'am.
celebration.
No.
Who wants to go back to that?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I would be the best bonus mom if they had kids.
Mhm.
Girl, I'm the best.
Yeah.
But there is no way that I want to start over with a young little 30-something. And I'm 45 and I'm about to push a carriage at 46, 47. Girl, bye.
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
So I kind of made my mind up. I felt like there wasn't enough choices for me. And I felt like there were women that were better suited for the men that were there than myself. I also believe that I was a little taken aback because I think it's only like 1 or 2 men that are actually from this area.
Okay.
Which caught me off guard. Now, mind you, the DC metropolitan area is a transient area. We have a lot of transplants. So I anticipated that. But what I did not anticipate, that they didn't have not one man from DC. Like, for the people who are from this area, like DC people and people from Prince George's County, honey, we are proud to be from this area, especially if we grew up in this area, because this is like the Black Mecca. You know, our parents, they were either blue collar, they worked for Metro, they worked for the government, they worked hard to afford us a great opportunity to live. So we are very proud of that, you know? And so I was anticipating seeing maybe 2 more brothers from this area, maybe a brother from DC, like an uptown brother, like something. So I was a little caught off guard by it. Not that I was turned off by it, but it's like, I don't know what to talk about when you're from San Francisco or San Diego, or, you know, like, in terms of growing up. And, you know, I didn't get that far with them. But again, I understand why they selected the people that they did, because everyone's so dope. So I'm not taking that away. But I'm just saying I was a little surprised. Like, wow, we don't have not one brother from DC, Washington, DC.
That is weird. Now, when you say that, you mean they live there now, they just weren't raised there, right?
Yeah, just from the area, you know, just from the area. Now, again, this is a transient area. So like a lot of people, what they do is they go to Howard, they go to college, they come here and they, you know, they stay. Or they just come here for opportunities. And I get that. And so I'm in support of that. I'm just saying that I was just thinking like, we don't have one, like we only have like 2 and we don't have no possible, you know?
It's not too possible. Well, so I think it was Walter, and then there was one other guy that you mentioned, Dante, I think. Were you able to talk to them at all? Did you get oh my gosh, no.
Let me tell you, so y'all don't understand, Crystal, it is chaotic. The mixer itself. So although it would lasted so long, the bottom line is that you have 20 people who are trying to connect with one another, right? So then you have conversations that are offline, off camera, that you can't necessarily include in filming, right? And then you have where you got 2 people pulling on one man, and you got like it's a lot. It's speed dating on steroids, essentially. So it's really hard for you to pull somebody, and then after a while, it's like, yo, I gotta pee. I'll be back.
If you go pee, somebody else gonna grab him.
Exactly. So that's the thing. Like, and then the other thing is that I'm rusty. So, and what I'm not is pressed. I'm not going to press myself out to meet someone that I'm probably not going to be interested in the first place, right? So I have like this big old personality. And so if I force myself on somebody, Crystal, then I'm going to look fake. Like that's not going to look like a genuine connection.
Right.
It's like, who is this? And you can almost see that when they played me out with Frank, and how they how it was edited. It was like they cut and paste some stuff and put it together. But that was a light conversation. It was me, him, and Aisha just talking. It wasn't as if I'm like, ooh, Frank, what are you doing? You know, what's your sign? Like, it wasn't like it wasn't like that at all. It was just a casual conversation. So I just, again, I did not want to do self-elimination. I did too much work to get there. I was super excited, and I was like, Libba, there's no way, girl. You're only an hour in, so give these men a chance.
Yeah.
You know, but I also felt like what I won't do is fake something that's not there.
Now, was there anyone that the producers wanted you to talk to in specific? You
No.
didn't have that? Okay.
No, I didn't have any of that. Like that. So here's the thing. When we got there, they pretty much was like, okay, grab your champagne, walk downstairs, go. And then they would let us know, like, all right, food is here, or those types of things. But I didn't receive any direction in terms of, we want you to talk to. No. And the other thing is that I kind of detected. I detected a lot of potential toxicity. I could tell if a brother is a player. I could tell when, he still got some growing up to do, or he has some work to do. And so I was respectful of that, okay, he's not the one for me.
Now, from the two guys that we've seen are gone, that we know are gone, right? We know that you probably know the intel on some other stuff. But Lamont, who we're going to talk to later tonight, and I'm not really sure why. I think it's probably going to sound a lot like your conversation, but I'm interested to hear what he says about why he feels he's not there. Do you have an idea of why Lamont was eliminated pretty quickly as well?
Yeah. So a couple of reasons. I think that there were some people who did not feel like they made a connection with Lamont. Again, there's a lot of people trying to connect with a lot of people, so they may have felt like they had stronger connections.
Yeah.
One of the things that came up for me for Lamont, and we had a great conversation, and again, I really do feel like he's a good man, but one of the things that he had mentioned was his ex-wife and the fact that she cheated on him, and it was so many years ago, and and to me it still came across as if it bothered him. And so for me, I was like, not that he, to me, that was kind of like a pink flag. Like, all right, so he's still talking about something that happened well over 20 years ago, as if it's an issue that can potentially arrive today and not give some woman an opportunity. Like, it's a lot to hear at a mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then Carrington, we saw him go.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like the consensus with Carrington is that he was a little bit young.
Yes. So I actually like Carrington. I thought he was sweet. Like, he and I actually had like great conversation while we were at the mixer.
Mm-hmm.
And what you'll notice, not that you're going to go back and watch like the first episode, but one of the things is that he was one of the only brothers that said something positive about me on camera,
Mm-hmm.
which I really appreciated. I even hit him up and said, thank you so much. That means a lot to me that,
Right.
that you were sweet enough to say that. And he was like, well, it's the truth, so, but Carrington, I think he is younger. My thing with him, knowing that he's a promoter in the area, I was like, ooh, that's a lot of women, especially him, and knowing that, girl, that's a lot. That's a lot of beautiful, not just a lot of women, but a lot of beautiful women. And that's a lot to sort through, especially for a 33-year-old man. So
yeah, it's a lot. I like where you put that. It's a lot to sort through for 33. And I think women are beautiful. I think that men find beauty everywhere. I think that men are a little bit, I think they actually have it easier than we do, or I admire this about them, is that they can find beauty everywhere. So we're always like, okay, this is our type. But men are kind of like, I have a type, but I'm open. They're all beautiful. Like,
right. Yeah.
So yeah, that is
ego-driven.
It is. Well, it is, but you don't think that they see beauty more in us than we do?
I think it depends on what they're looking for and where they are in their lives, right? So perhaps a man in his 40s can appreciate the beauty of a woman more so than a younger man appreciating how much that booty bounces. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was going to ask you about, because you in your intro, and I'm sure it was pieced together, but you mentioned like, well, all these girls have big old booties, and I'm thinking, I have been accused of being a girl that has a big booty. However, I hated it, and the reason I did not like it is because, again, like I'm saying, men see beauty everywhere. So when you want a man to be attracted to you, you want him to be looking at your face. I'm looking like you had a picture of you're like standing up in a bathing suit, head on, beautiful. you know, so I think that men, to my point, men, yeah, they like booties, they like breasts, they like faces, they like everything. They just, you know, they find beauty in a lot of different places. I think women are sometimes harder on themselves than we should be, because talking to a lot of guys, they're always like, yeah, we like a big old booty, but we also like no booty and big breasts or pretty eyes.
So my comment to that was more about them asking about how competitive is this area, right? Yeah. And so we have to realize that Black men in particular, out of all of the races, they love booty. Okay. That's one of the first things that they see, right? And what I was saying is that there's so many beautiful women. We have women who are educated, or even if they're not educated, they're super smart. They are resourceful, they're gorgeous, and they got it going on, and they have these big old booties. Now, I already told you I'm a tall glass of water. I'm 5'10" with my heels on. I'm 6'2", 6'3". I don't lack confidence, not at all. You know, I'm sure of who I am. And I'm not going to say I'm conceited, but I value the woman that I have developed into. So I will never downplay my positive attributes. Okay. Yeah. But what I will say is that even at the mixer, I would be talking to someone, and here come Aisha or even Camille with these big old pretty booties. They walking past, the men's eyes are looking at their booty. Like, and I can't help but look at their booty too. Like, well, damn. You know what I mean? So, like, I do understand that men, they do look, that's one of the first things. They can't help it. They like, you know, their eyes, they go that way.
They like round things. Men like round things.
Big old round, shiny things, right?
Right. Anything that's round and curvy, they
love it. They love it. And so that's all that I was saying. It wasn't like, oh, well, I got a cute little booty. I know it's cool. It's good. You know, I know how to listen. I ain't no shame in my game. It's just that knowing how competitive this area is that those are the ones that men typically, you know, are drawn to a little bit more. That's all.
I hear you. And I think we all think different things, because trust me, I will take your 5'10" legs. You can send them on to Atlanta, and I'll send you all this booty that way.
Girl, I was not meant to have no big old booty. Do you hear me? This confidence that I have right now, if I had a big booty, I would rule the world. In a little land somewhere.
Well, actually, one of the comments is Wale and J. Cole recently dedicated a song to regular.
Poke it out. Yes.
Yeah. No, I need to go check that out.
It's a good one too.
Anyway, moving forward, what did you learn? What did you learn from the short experience that you had there on Ready to Love? Did you learn anything about yourself? Did you learn anything about just listening to how everybody else interacted and kind of watching the first three? No? Okay.
So let me just say this. In terms, I ain't learned nothing. What I did learn was, there's some reassurance that I already knew. Okay. So here's some things that I know for sure. Rejection is that has nothing to do with me. If I'm not your type, I'm not your type. I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to care.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just something that I totally understand. So I didn't feel any kind of way for those men to reject me. I've been through too much in my life. So to be rejected by 10 men is no big deal. Now, if they were all 10 ugly men, look, if they were 10 ugly men, I might be feeling some kind of way, but I don't. So that's one thing. The other thing is that one thing that I do regret, the biggest thing that I regret, was my hair and my outfit. Okay. So let me break this down too, if you don't mind.
No. That's interesting. Okay.
So we have these restrictions. We were given these guidelines. You got to stay in the house for 2 weeks. You can't you can't interact with people because of COVID. So we had we had some restrictions. Right. I am a natural sister who cannot do hair like at all. I had dreadlocks for 12 years, and then I had them again for like 3 or 4 years, right? So I'm like, I had combed out my locks. you know, and I was like, girl, it's summertime. I'm natural. I need a hairstyle that I can do like a wash and go.
Yeah.
And keep
Just
it
in
moving.
case, right.
Girl, I got that damn weave. And I saw everything that everybody else saw on TV. I was like, oh God.
You mentioned the edges. You mentioned the
edges, like the dreadlocks and pulled the edges all the way out. Damn, Diana Ross is not Dianing. Like, so I had to get used to my hair. Like, that was like me trying to do something. And then after that, like 3 days later, I did the wet and wig, and it blended much better. But yeah, that was a hot mess. And I would have hired a makeup artist.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't have a makeup artist. Nobody touched this stuff up. I don't know how to do makeup for camera.
Right.
Well, put some eyeliner and some lipstick. That's
you look beautiful. You looked beautiful, but I do agree. As a woman, especially of a particular age, period, though, makeup artists are necessary. Yes. So now, whenever someone wants me to do something, I'm like, I gotta have a makeup artist because I don't even want it. I don't even want those problems. You know, you can be who you are. I don't even like wearing a lot of makeup, but when you're on television, you need makeup. But Monique says, shouts out to her addressing the wig situation. But
it was a weave, girl. It wasn't even a wig. It was a weave. It was a weave, honey. It was unbelievable. It was a mess. And then, like, the other part of it is to see, like, our pictures and stuff. I am highly photogenic. Like, I am.
You look beautiful right now. Yes.
Girl, but when I saw those pictures, I was like, yo, somebody who don't like me.
Now, wait a minute. Are you talking about the picture in the pink dress?
Yes, all the promo pictures, everything. I was just like, oh, they don't like me. They don't.
Hold on, I'm about to, because I think this
is a mess. I don't look anything like that, Crystal. And it's okay. I have self-deprecating humor, so it's okay. I don't need no reassurance.
No, I'm just talking for myself because I texted you and I was like, I love that dress. You look great.
Thank you. Well, and the reason why I'm talking about the dress, Crystal, is because the day before the mixer, it rained, right?
Yes.
So I had on my dress, it was a bandage dress, right?
Yes.
Past my knees.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm in that backyard with that sticky ass mud.
Yeah.
And I'm like trying not to fall over. My damn heels got caught in the mud several times. I was like, this is a mess. I'm over there looking like Grandma Mosley. A mess.
I'm telling y'all, Libba is saying this, but she looks amazing in this pink dress. And I just don't understand. Hold on, I'm about to have to pull up the dress. I was like, I'm confused. I understand the wig or the weave because we all have bad hair days. That's normal.
Girl, it was awful.
No. You know what, Libba, I'm gonna call you out because this dress has nothing to do with the nothing to do with the outside stickiness. You look great in this dress. That's what I'm talking about. How women, we just always are looking at ourselves differently.
I know, so critical.
I'm gonna let the people say what they think. And this has nothing to do with you. It's just for my own person. I'm like, I think this dress is amazing. It's great. Look at that. What are you talking about?
Girl.
Now we can't see your shoes. I can't see if they've been in the mud.
Oh, they were YSLs, honey. They were YSLs. Still.
Hey, you look great. I think I have a dress. If I don't have that dress, I have a similar dress to that. You look great in the dress. Anyway, all right, Libba, moving forward. Everybody, see that people are on my side. Libba,
I appreciate y'all so sweet. Thank you.
They not being sweet to you. They telling you the truth. You look beautiful.
Wait, let me sip on this wine, girl. I need a sip. I'm a little traumatized thinking about that outfit.
Kawana, the dress is bomb. The dress is good. The dress, she looks great in the dress. She ain't got no extra stuff coming over the side and none of that. You look good. Libba, moving forward. Okay, let me ask you this. This is what I wanted to ask you before we let you go, because it does seem like you have, for you to say you knew immediately that there really wasn't anybody there for you. I would want to ask you, if in dating, are you open to dating someone that may not fit the characteristics? Like maybe he doesn't have any kids. Maybe he hasn't been married before, but maybe he's okay with that. Maybe he's not necessarily what you think. Are you open? Do you find yourself could you be open to something that is not what you expected?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I'm absolutely open to it. I think that, going back for saying that I kind of understood within an hour of being there, it was also with the knowledge, knowing that these men wanted kids. I was, understanding that knowing that they wanted kids. That's different. And I'm not going to set myself up in a position where I'm like, this man wants kids. I can't, that's not something that I can provide. I'm open. I don't have a type right now, Crystal. I really don't have a type.
Good.
So yes, I'm certainly open to different types of men. I am encouraging, people to hit a sister up because I'm still single and I'm also ready to mingle.
Okay. Well, have you noticed that people are dropping in your DMs a little bit more after being exposed on the show? Are you getting a little bit more IG and Facebook traffic in your DM?
I am. Some of which are scary.
Yeah.
Some of them are a little weird, and I'm like, I don't know if this is a stalker or not. If this is the next episode of you, but yeah, some of them are a little weird. But my thing is that I am not thirst trapping.
Yeah.
I am looking for my love. I'm serious about this thing. I'm worthy of it, and I'm an outstanding partner. And so I really do look forward to it,
Well, it's coming. We know that it's coming because you have such a warm and fun personality. I think everybody deserves and can have love if they're open.
Yes.
Literally, I could relate to you a lot because I got married at 20, got divorced in my 30s. And I was kind of wondering, like, okay, Lord, are you going to send somebody else? Or did I just have that early on? But he sent someone else. But I will say it was totally not what I was thinking. It was like way different than what I thought. Because I'm very specific and I had like a list and all these things. And he's amazing. But if I had stayed in that list thing that I was in for the first few years, probably several years after my divorce, I might have overlooked an amazing person. So, and something that was for me, but it just is very different. And I think that once we have been married before, or we've gone through some things, we kind of feel like we know what it should feel like.
Yeah.
But it will feel totally different. And it'd probably make you feel young as you did when you first got married, totally different, because it's going to be something 100% different than anything you've experienced before.
Yeah,
so,
I appreciate that. I certainly don't have a list. I do have, again, there are characteristics and traits that I want. I don't want narcissists. I don't want, there's certain things that I don't want: a toxic man, a jealous man, an insecure man. Like, those are some non-negotiables.
Yeah, we're not going to compromise on things that are healthy for you. So
and again, I'm open. So, and some things, younger men love me, that's cool too. But I just want to make sure that that's the right person. And I entertain conversations and all of that. So I don't shut it down so quickly.
You'll be a good bonus mom. That's good to know. Because people hit us up. Would you date someone that was not in your area? Are you open to like long distance relationship as long as the person is serious?
Yeah, I'm open to it. I mean, if he's attentive and he's willing to come to me or I come to him, like, yeah, I'm open to it. Absolutely. I'm not going to another country or nothing, but certainly within reason. Yeah, I'm open to it.
Would you do another reality show?
I don't know. I think that this was a fantastic experience for me. But I also understand that I am going to be Libba no matter what.
Yeah.
And so I am real as they can come. And so I think that I was fortunate. My timing on the show was perfect. This is going to be a very juicy season, honey. But my timing on there was perfect. I was not supposed to be there for so many different things. And that is the truth. And y'all better keep watching.
Oh, they're going to keep watching, and we will keep talking. Keep watching and talking.
Remember what I said. I want y'all to be like, yeah, Libba wasn't supposed to be there. She wasn't supposed to be there. No.
Absolutely. Okay, well, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Libba, if I come across, I'm a matchmaker of sorts. or at least I try to be. So many people hit us up about the show and different people on the show. So we just may forward any interesting bachelors your way, if any come your way, because definitely a lot of people are saying that you're beautiful and they appreciate what you brought
Thank you.
to the show.
Can I say one more little thing? Because one person asked, am I saying, are people faking it? I'm not saying that people are faking it. I'm saying that I don't have the ability to not be myself. That's all that I'm saying. Nothing about people faking it. I ain't talking about other people's journeys. I'm talking about my own.
I didn't think that. I do see that comment.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that people are there to love. I don't feel like there's people, trying to be opportunist. Some are, but for the majority of no, I'm not gonna say some are.
I'll say that. Yeah, I'll say that.
I would say the premise of the show is to be ready to love. I question whether or not some of those people are ready to love, but I will say that there are a lot of my castmates are dope, and I'm gonna give that to them. And so
the Ready to Love cast always becomes like a family. And
I love some of my castmates, honey.
They hang out and everything after that. So that's cool. We are going to let you go so that we can be ready to talk to the guy. Thank you so much, Libba. We appreciated it. Thank you for being our very first guest.
Yes.
Season 5. We wish you much success. You're not going to have any problem when it's your time. An amazing person is going to show up, and you have to come back and tell us your love story.
Girl. And look, they can follow me at Libba Nation. I'm on Libba Nation on Instagram and on TikTok. And then I have a video that I'm going to be dropping of me the day after the mixer, girl. I don't have no makeup on. I'm still in bed, but I'm talking all about it. So I'll be dropping that soon.
Okay, well, let me know when you drop it, and we'll make sure that we share it as well.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all.
All right, have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, you guys stay right there. Actually, you have about 8 minutes. You can go get something to eat, go get a snack, come right back. We're going to talk to Lamont. We're going to hear his take as the very first guy that went home. I love Libba's attitude, and I love the idea of us understanding and recognizing that I think like man's rejection is God's protections. I don't necessarily think she was rejected this season. I think that the guys just didn't know her. So I don't think this show doesn't really give you that harsh rejection until the end. But I definitely think things happen for a reason. And I'm sure that's not the last time that we will hear from Miss Libba Nation. So you guys stay right there. Like I said, go grab some popcorn, grab some drink. And we're going to hear from the guy's side right here on Rolling Out, right here on From Crystal XL. See you guys in a few minutes. Bye-bye.